Assalamu alaikum. I'm Ibrahim Hooper with CAIR's News Update. CAIR has called on Imams nationwide to devote Friday sermons to the issues of racial equality and social justice raised by the police shooting of Michael Brown in Missouri. And CAIR chapters are taking up those issues with local communities.
But Dawood, you say that this is more than just about the death of one young man.
Most definitely, and we have to make clear there's no excuse for any plundering or property damage. At the same time, we have to understand that we have communities that are suppressed economically, that there's a history of police brutality, as well as these types of shootings that take place not just in this community, but all across the country. So this is in the mindsets of the people.
CAIR's Michigan chapter has filed a lawsuit challenging the placement of American Muslims on terror watch lists.
The Council on American Islamic Relations filed a federal lawsuit against U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder on behalf of 5 local Muslims who they say were unfairly put on that list.
We're seeking a declaration by the federal court that the watch list is unconstitutional and that the government has violated the rights of our plaintiffs and other American Muslims by adding their names to the federal watch lists without due process.
CAIR's San Diego chapter said the watch list should be of concern to all Americans.
The head of San Diego's Council on American Islamic Relations says that this isn't just a problem for one particular community.
The general public needs to understand that if today it's Muhammad or Ali, tomorrow it could be them.
Following intervention by CAIR's Oklahoma chapter, a school district decided to stop showing an Islamophobic film to students.
In May, a parent filed a complaint about the film, which suggests that the 1995 bombing was the work of Middle Eastern Islamist organizations. The Council on American Islamic Relations questioned the school's use of the film as part of its curriculum, and tonight, CAIR is now applauding their decision.
CAIR called for a hate crime probe of vandalism targeting a Virginia mosque.
Police are investigating damage done to a local mosque. The Council on American Islamic Relations is calling for the FBI to investigate it as a possible hate crime. A security guard at the Manassas Mosque arrived to find the vandalism this morning. At this time, there have been no suspects named.
CAIR's Michigan chapter welcomed the arrest of a man who allegedly attacked a Muslim woman, but expressed concern about other perpetrators who remain at large.
I spoke with the executive director of the Council on American Islamic Relations today, Dawood Walid. He said he is happy that someone is in custody and has been charged. However, he is also concerned about the other 2 individuals that were at the scene on the day this crime was committed.
Google dropped an offensive game from its Play Store following a request by CAIR and other groups.
America's largest Muslim civil rights group is calling on Google to pull games like these from its Play app store. Bomb Gaza instructs players to drop bombs while avoiding civilians.
On the issue of Gaza, CAIR sponsored a congressional briefing featuring a Florida teen who was brutally beaten by Israeli police.
Continuing coverage of the Tampa teenager whose beating by Israeli police caused an international outcry. He's in Washington, D.C. and spoke at a panel hearing hosted by the Council on American Islamic Relations. Tarek talked about his 6-week visit overseas. He spoke about his cousin's murder, that beating caught on camera, and being detained in an airport for 10 hours.
As an American attorney, what happened to Tarek Kader at the hands of a nation that claims to be a democracy and claims to be an ally of the United States and receives billions of dollars of foreign aid really boggles my mind. I mean, because what I've seen happen to Tarek, my client, and what I'm seeing right now happening to his cousins and his family members in retaliation is just unconscionable for somebody who's grown up in a legal system such as ours that respects ideas of due process, right? The judicial process, innocent until proven guilty.
CAIR's national director spoke at a rally for Gaza of some 50,000 people in Washington, D.C.
Rallies are good. We can come here and vent, but this is not good enough. What is needed to be done? We need to tell our members of Congress that they have pledged allegiance to the Constitution of the United States, not the State of Israel.
CAIR chapters nationwide also sponsored rallies in support of the civilians suffering in Gaza.
Meanwhile, in Tulsa, demonstrators braved the heat to peacefully protest the violence in the Middle East. Activists stood at 71st and Memorial late this afternoon. They're urging Israel to stop the escalation in Gaza and the West Bank, where 700 Palestinians have died this month.
As Americans, as people of the human race, it's our concern also. We just can't say it's a Palestinian problem, it's over there, I don't care, leave it there. No, it's our position, it's our concern, and we should say something about it.
Statewide rally for Gaza will start at 1 p.m. The Islamic Circle of North America, Muslim American Society, the Council for American Islamic Relations, and other organizations are taking part.
We think that we have the moral responsibility at least to tell Israel when it commits human rights violations and tramples all over international law, that is not acceptable for us.
CAIR chapters also launched letter-writing campaigns to elected officials urging action on the Gaza killings.
The Council on American Islamic Relations here in San Diego is launching a letter-writing campaign now on behalf of the people living in Gaza, those who are, of course, caught in the middle of this battle. The letters are specifically written to California Senators Barbara Boxer and Dianne Feinstein. The CAIR chapter, as it's called here in San Diego, says it already has thousands of letters and will be delivering them soon.
This press conference today was called for two main reasons. First, recently, our organization launched a letter-writing campaign to call for an end to the killing of civilians in Gaza. Over the course of less than 2 weeks, we collected over 4,100 letters addressed to Senators Cardin and Mikulski. These letters call on our elected representatives to urge Israeli authorities to end the collective punishment of Palestinians and immediately halt the targeting of civilians and children in Gaza.
An official with CAIR's New York chapter went on CNN to warn of the rise in bigotry triggered by the Gaza killings.
Ziad Ramadan with the Islamic American group CAIR warns the rise in anti-Semitism could trigger an anti-Muslim backlash, like this flyer found in a Brooklyn neighborhood.
I think that the rhetoric has to be contained to the point of the questioning of human rights and to the question of politics, but not anti-Jewish.
In other news, CAIR's chapter in Washington State coordinated the delivery of Eid gifts to people of other faiths.
Today, at least 2,000 Muslims across the state are expected to visit their neighbors of other faiths. The Council on American Islamic Relations, or CAIR, is organizing the visits through Tuesday. Now, Muslims will deliver greetings and gifts to mark the end of the Ramadan fast.
An official with CAIR's Florida chapter was interviewed by PBS about the rising number of Latino converts to Islam.
What attracted me the most was the simplicity of its theology. Islam is very simple. God is the creator, that's it.
Today, Ruiz is an attorney with the Council on American Islamic Relations in Miami, and he's part of one of the fastest growing segments of Islam in the U.S., Latino Muslims.
And finally, CAIR repeated its call for the release of a former Marine imprisoned in Iran.
The Michigan chapter of the Council on American Islamic Relations says it has met twice now with Iranian officials in New York about the case of Amir Hekmati. Hekmati was arrested in August 2011, sentenced to death for spying.
To receive CAIR updates and action alerts, sign up at CAIR.com. To contact CAIR, email info@CAIR.com. Assalamu alaikum. Peace to you.